While vile mutants still draw breath, there can be no peace. While obscene heretics' hearts still beat, there can be no respite. While faithless traitors still live, there can be no forgiveness.
The Silver Skulls are a second founding successor chapter of the Ultramarines. Revered as among the most prestigious creeds of the Adeptus Astartes, these stern warriors do not abide failure, no matter the cost it may incur. Heavily relying on their librarius for guidance, it is the belief of the Silver Skulls that the Emperor speaks through them, and as such, their utterances are sacrosanct. Distrustful of such zeal, regardless of their misgivings, no Imperial commander is foolish enough to deny the aid of these revered Astartes. Drawing many of their recruits from their homeworld of Varsavia Tertius, or simply Varsavia, the Silver Skulls also recruit aspirants from the feral world of Garanda II and other disparate planets. Ostensibly a death world covered in permafrost, the chapter world of Varsavia's indigenous wildlife and hostile icy environments breed hardy aspirants for recruitment. The fortress monastery of the Silver Skulls, the Argent Mons, located at the far north of the singular inhabitable continent of the planet, upon the side of an enormous mountain, is rich with veins of silver ore. Their origins as Ultramarine successors lost to time, with their continued isolation from the wider Imperium. For millennia, it was a mystery to all within their ranks as to where their genetic legacy lied. Their chapter world within close proximity of the Gildar Rift, few Imperial outposts remain within this sector of space, and as such, the Silver Skulls are the only response force capable of driving back raids from the inhabitants of the Maelstrom. Each chapter master assumes the title of their founder, Lord Commander Argentius, no matter their former name, and pledges to defend the Gildar Rift with regular patrols of their fleet. Incorporating such duty into their culture, though an ignoble task in the eyes of their peers of the Adeptus Astartes, the Silver Skulls retain immense pride in protecting their territories from piratical bands of traitors. Regularly fending off incursions perpetrated by the Red Corsairs warband of Huron Blackheart, each time swiftly driving them back into the Maelstrom's embrace. Famed for their involvement in the Red Heresy of 290.M36, Great Malagatine Purge of 770.M38, Corinth Crusade of 698.M41, Third War for Armageddon of 998.M41, and ongoing Second Relief of Mordian, the chapter has earned glories aplenty for their stalwart aid given to several branches of the Imperium's war machine. Adherents to the conventions of the Codex Astartes, though ignorant of their ties to the Lord of Ultramar, the Silver Skulls follow his prescribed methods of war with little deviation. Installing a specialist rank within their structure, the Librarian Prognosticators of the chapter lead as the spiritual advisors of their creed in a similar manner to a chaplain. Studying future portents of their fate using the Emperor's Tarot, the Prognosticators have final say as to whether their forces shall engage or ignore calls for aid. Forming a governing body known as the Prognosticatum, these champions of the chapter advise many captains of the Order, and whilst chaplains are a part of the Prognosticatum, their lack of psychic powers puts them in a position of lesser influence. Coordinating their duties with the equerry of their Lord Commander and Chief Prognosticator, Vashiro, this similar inheritor of a title of their chapter's legacy must give his blessing before any campaign can be undertaken by the Silver Skulls. Studying ancient tomes known as the Orthodoxy within their librarium, the collective wisdom and accounts of the psychic visions of the Prognosticators guides their actions and those of the chapter's future. Each proven neophyte must undergo the Fast of the Ascension and the Long Patrol during their training. Though details of the feast are unknown to outsiders, the Long Patrol sees each aspirant of the chapter endure the wilds of Arsavian. Equipped with only a combat knife to defend themselves, the few who remain ascend to the ranks of the Astartes, whilst all who perish have their names recorded in the honor rolls of the chapter. Demanding each successful aspirant pilgrimage to the Prognosticator Temple, each have auguries cast to divine their future potential. implanted with gene seed if successful, with the so-called quintessence sacred successfully accepted by their bodies. Each promising Scout Marine is blessed by the chief prognosticator of the chapter. Regarded as fierce and relentless warriors, the chapter is sparing with its deployments and prefers to utilize skirmish tactics rather than battle lines. Never surrendering ground when taken, no matter the cost, their legendary stubborn defiance is honed through training in pitch darkness, which improves their eyesight and suitability to fight with little to no bearings. Highly superstitious in nature, the mere mention of heresies or acts of malevolence causes these warriors to habitually make the sign of the Aquila to ward their hearts from evil. Speaking a personal litany in prayer before battle, each battle brother retains connections to their heritage and bloodlines to remind them of those they fight to protect. Returning their fallen brethren's bodies to their funeral world of Pax Argentius, the spirits of their kinsmen look down from the moon orbiting their homeworld to watch over and guide their chapter's future. Constructing memorials and monuments to honor their dead, the Silver Skulls ritually cremate their fallen brothers and, when possible, place their ashes within urns carved from the skull of the enemy that ended their life. Burying mortal serfs alongside their masters, both are honored equally with their passing, for each has served the Emperor in their own way. Within this peaceful bastion of the honored dead, the chaplains of the chapter train and study in their attempts to understand the many lessons earned through blood and toil. Honoring the dead by inscribing their names on copper plates to adorn their armor, others keep the memory of their kinsmen alive in their minds. Known for their proclivity to claim the severed heads of their enemies, whether this is a custom of their tribal heritage is unclear. Within their chapels, many silver-coated trophies wrought by the artistry of the chapter's Custodes Cruor artificers are collected and coupled with plaques detailing the name of each battle brother who claimed such trinkets. Each company of the chapter maintains their prestige through shows of such headhunting, each silvered skull embellished with designs matching the tattoos and honor marks of the Space Marines who claimed them. Regaling one another with the tales tied to how these skulls were claimed, the most garrulous Astartes of the chapter can hold their kinsmen in awe of their stories time and again. Clad in silver power armor trimmed with black, apothecaries of the chapter paint both their pauldrons white with black vertical stripes centered on their helmets. Assigning their tactical role upon their right pauldron, its color designates their company in slight deviation to the Codex Astartes. Forming 10 squads within each company named after a type of gemstone, the eye slits of the sigil of their chapter upon their pauldron is set with such stones to identify their squad. White low-Gothic numerals on their right knee plate acting as a backup should such gemstones be damaged or lost. Etching tattoos upon their skin with the aid of the Custodes Cruor, each represents their battle honors and greatest deeds with often breathtaking artistry. Only captains of the chapter are permitted to tattoo their faces, for there is much canvas of their skin to mark before receiving such an honor. The symbol of their chapter, a stylized silver skull on a field of black, its stark similarity to the 4th Traitor Legion, the Iron Warriors, has drawn scrutiny from the wider Imperium. Reinforced with Primaris Space Marines, following the return of the Avenging Sun, Rabute Guilliman, with the resurgence of the Lord of Ultramar, their descendants from his bloodline has been confirmed by the chapter's apothecaries. Caring little for their origins, nor their primogenitor's legacy, the Silver Skulls thrive knowing their actions have been made in the name of the Emperor, and not been found wanting. Renewed in strength and in purpose, the Silver Skulls take to the field across numerous fronts, knowing in their hearts that their duty to preserve the Imperium is ironclad.